be fair, the workers see a meaningful increase in their wages as well. I don't care about forcing them back to work. I did NATO.
AUKUS.
AUKUS Jack, Five Eyes. Look alive.
It's so funny. It's so funny that this is like, this
Ladies and gentlemen,
takes so fucking long to get here.
Almost
from my house on an aircraft carrier.
Almost as cool as Motaz. In terms of guests, we're doing like fucking basics of wage and how value is accumulated.
I mean, like I sort of see both sides of this current dispute. Like, certainly for the longshoremen, but it's sort of like a central truth of my worldview that if you have a wage job, you should have to take one weekend every month to work for free for guys like me.
Okay.
Because who's ordering all that stuff?
True.
Me.
They don't understand. They don't understand the real plight. The plight is when your Amazon delivery of your new headset for your VR is late.
No, I don't. My VR headset I got directly from Valve.
Okay.
But all my flight sim equipment that is coming directly from China.
Yeah.
And so, like, what do you think is in all those shipping containers? Everything that isn't human trafficking is flight simulation equipment.
I agree.
I made this guy rich.
Yeah. He's fucking caked up. He's got unsettling vibes, like a old school labor leader who's like maybe a little bit corrupt, but also simultaneously is very cool, and I like it.
I love his glasses.
He's got those are Cartier.
Yeah, no, he's
fucking dimed out. He doesn't give a shit.
Every time there's like a labor thing and like the head union guy is like a guy like this, every like John Stossel type is like, he drives a Bentley, and it's like, you don't think that's cool? That should be like, you shouldn't have to go to college to buy Cartier frames. That's my legitimate belief.
Yeah.
This guy's awesome. He's 78?
Yeah, the profane 78-year-old leading the dog order strike.
He looks good for 78.
He does, because he's rich.
Yeah.
He's fucking caked up, dude. That's what it is.
I don't agree with him buying a Bentley. I think, like,
he should have bought an F-22 instead.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't.
He's shipping them. He should have he should have done the old, like, the 5-finger discount.
What is it with the thing that the guy in MASH does where he sends a Jeep to himself in America, like, piece by piece over his entire deployment? I mean, like, Bentleys seem nice, I've been inside one once. But it's like everyone has one. Everyone who makes as much money as this guy has one, is my whole thing. And it's like, don't you want something that no one else has?
Yeah. Like an F-22.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, one less F-15 to Israel. Let this guy have it, Yeah. It's going to be used. It's either going to be bombarded with Iranian missiles that definitely didn't hit the target if you ask the Israeli government.
Yeah. That's why they're not showing it. It's illegal to show pictures because they don't want Iran to feel bad.
Yeah.
Because they missed everything.
Yeah. No, it would be really... yeah, it would be really bad if they saw how little the hits actually hit target.
Yeah. And just as a coincidence, all our F-35s are being sent in this week for a new aux cord extension.
Well, to be fair, F-35s break quite frequently, so it could literally be for no reason. It rained a lot.
Yeah.
It rained too much.
The most annoying thing that is not the worst thing, hard to pick a word, but the most annoying thing they do with their military is they'll buy American planes like the F-35, F-16, F-15, and then they'll like change 2 things on it, and they'll be like, this is a new plane. It's called the Adair. And it's like, fuck off. Like, it's like Jacob the jeweler, how he'll take like a Rolex and like put a bunch of like bullshit diamonds on it and be like, oh, I made it better.
Wow, Felix doing textbook anti-Semitism.
Wait, Jacob the jeweler is what? He's what, like Syrian Jewish?
He's one of those like Patrick Bet David types.
Is he Jewish?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't think he is.
I assumed. I'm sorry if you're gonna say I'm anti-Semitic. I just always.
Okay,
but,
his name is Jacob. Like, it would be weirder if you said Johnny Dang was Jewish. The two cultures with tunnels.
Yeah.
Vietnamese and Jewish.
Yeah, that's right. Can we watch Patrick Bet David clips? No. Also, Patrick Bet David not Jewish.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that was
It's so weird. Like, not like the name, his whole look. It's like that's an Israeli man.
Yeah, Patrick Bet David, yes.
Patrick Bet David,
like the skin tight suits that he wears. Like the vibes are so. He is spiritually Jewish, I think, more so than fucking Tony the Koopel or whatever the fuck his name is.
That guy, his dad was James Franco in Pineapple Express.
Wait, so what did he do? What did his dad do?
His dad was basically a successful version of weed dealers who make you watch like Zeitgeist when you're buying like $30 worth of weed. Like his dad was a weed dealer who like made enough to send whatever the fuck this guy's name is. It starts with a K. The guy who like interviewed Ta-Nehisi Coates and was like, "So you want all Jews to die, okay?"
Yeah.
This guy. Well, he clearly has like a fetish or a type. He married one Jewish lady. They got divorced. She lives in Israel with his two kids. Then he got married to another.
Imagine getting your shit snipped for a second time, and then your wife still divorces you.
This was the second wife. The thing is, he was already medically circumcised.
Yeah. I know. I read the article.
I'm just explaining. Did you read the chat?
Yes, we read.
Okay,
we read. We are aware, but maybe some people don't know. Ta-Nehisi Coates, the liberal intelligentsia darling Ta-Nehisi Coates, made the cardinal sin of like going to the West Bank and recognizing, oh my God, he was so wrong about Israel because they are a uniquely racist nation. Like uniquely in the sense that like there are still plenty of racist nations out there, but like historically racist in terms of the way that they currently operate.
Yeah, and just the way that it's codified and
And so when he wrote about it in his new book, of course, the media was like, why are you doing this? Are you a terrorist? Like immediately, the switch up is crazy. And one of the guys that did that was Tony the PP. What the fuck is his last name?
It seems, I thought he was Georgian because it sounds like a Georgian last name. It's like Kapulki.
The Kapulk. Whatever, one of those guys. But basically what ended up happening was we found out the Koopel. Oh, the Koopel, like dick pill.
All right.
Okay.
Well, maybe I have some late onset dyslexia.
Yeah. Late onset dyslexia.
It happens.
So he was ripping into Ta-Nehisi Coates, and basically what ended up happening is we found out that he wrote an article about how he got an adult circumcision, like he consented to getting a second circumcision
because
as an adult.
Yeah, his weed dealer dad was like, this is like this guy was born what, like 1980? Anyone born after like I would say like the Ford administration probably. The moment you're born, if you're a guy, they just started being like, you want us to peel the skin back? And I just at a certain point just everyone had it. And I think part of it is that like a lot of lazy dads were like, I don't want to teach my son how to fucking clean the smegma. That's my whole thing. Like I think it's fucked up to like force it on a kid, like it's a fucked up choice to make for a kid. But then they
took it from us. They took it from both of us.
Yeah. It's like,
but for religious reasons.
I mean, I have a whole thing about it, but like, if I had a son, like obviously I would like, go, that's a fucked up choice for me to make. But then it's like, well, now I'm gonna have to like show him how to clean the foreskin, and I don't know how to do that. And like, what the fuck do I do? I have friends that are uncircumcised? Do I like take it? Do I like have them show me?
You can't have them.
I'm not asking them to do it for him. No, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. I like but like maybe I could clean my friend's dick and then describe what it was like to my son. See how complicated it is? That's how they get you. That's why it's a generational curse. You think you're going to be the one to break the chain, and then you're like, oh my fucking God, I'm going to have to clean my friend's dick at least like twice to really get it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough.
That's why hard. That's why you just got to keep it going. In any case, that guy, how the fuck do we get to that guy? He I don't even remember.
Yeah, how the fuck did he come up?
It's really crazy because like he's like the basic CBS anchor, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, we watch a lot of news on this broadcast, and he comes up a lot. And now my life has been dramatically altered because every time he comes on screen, in my mind I'm thinking that's the adult convert that got his shit snipped.
Yeah, like he's all I'll ever be able to think about is him like taking Tylenol 3s with like a Looney Tunes style cast over his groin. It's so fucking weird. It's so weird. And he married like a very liberal, into a very liberal reform synagogue. And he thought, okay, reform. Like they're not even going to yell at me about fucking bacon. I bet I don't have to do anything. And they were so hardcore on this one thing. They were like, we don't care if you got circumcised. You have to do, what's that shit in Yakuza where you have to cut a pinky off when you fuck up? It's like that for Judaism.
Yeah, they have to draw blood.
Yeah.
Like the mohel has to come in and draw blood, apparently. A Danny DeVito looking mohel. Which he wrote in the article.
Yeah, he complains about how the mohel wasn't hot, which is like, okay.
If I want to get my shit chopped off, I want the sexiest mohel in the entire tri-state area. Okay, what is this?
It's like porn where it's like, I'm not gay, but I have like a big dick in there. I'm not gay, but I don't want my mohel to be hot.
Yeah, it's fucked up. The funniest part is he didn't speak Hebrew, and it's like, bro, if you're getting your shit chopped off, perhaps you should have learned Hebrew first. You know what I mean? It's like your commitment is all over the place.
Yeah. He's like, he's not going to keep kosher, but he's going to be like, all right, you can fucking take a sword to my cock.
Like, that's literally that's the final step of the process, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah. It's like, are there people in other religions like that where it's like, someone like a Muslim who all he does is pay like an extremely high jizya, but nothing else. He doesn't do anything else.
Yeah. Nico is a revert who doesn't do any of the things. Actually, I guess a lot of these guys, Andrew Tate, Nico, all these like fucking fake Muslims.
Yeah, that's the internet.
It wouldn't be jizya. It would be zakat, by the way, Felix. Jizya is for non-Muslims. Zakat.
Yeah. What can I say? I got woken up early today. So, jizya is what I pay.
No, that exists. Muslims who will do heroin or some shit but not eat bacon. I mean, yeah, that's like the meme in Islam is that you can do whatever you want as long as you don't eat bacon. But that's like the opposite, because for Muslims it's the easiest one to follow. Okay, so it's technically the opposite of getting your shit chopped off, because it's like for Muslims it's like pretty fucking easy to not eat pork products, and also there's like a baked in fear about it in the Islamic world in general. So they just are, it's much easier to avoid. That's why they drink alcohol, which is, awesome, but they don't eat fucking bacon.
What I've always wondered this. Does like wild boar is very popular now.
Is it? I don't know.
It's
Like Hamoni Barrico type shit.
Yeah, well, you remember how like bison had a big moment in like 2014?
Yeah.
Both you and I was at the peak of my like bro science gym bro stuff, and I probably heard a Rogan episode where he's like, you metabolize 99% of bison. And I just spent my entire fucking shitty paycheck on it. But the moment that bison had in 2014, I feel like wild boar, they're having that in the last few years. But is that technically like swan? Like you couldn't eat that if you were Muslim or Jewish, probably,
you can't
right?
eat any pork, yeah.
I guess it is kind of, it's
still,
literally pork,
it's still pork, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still haram. What is this? I dated a Lebanese girl. We did the most haram shit, but if I had pork during the day, it was like a no-go zone for the day. That's crazy.
That's everyone with their religion is kind of like, you know, I think like it shows how.
Oh, this is classic. My friend named Hasan drinks 60% alcohol, has a girl that sleeps with him for drugs, but doesn't eat gummies because it has gelatin.
Yeah. No,
yeah, exactly.
This is why all these religions truly are Abrahamic. Because the thing that I think like makes Judaism like special, that I think like that non-Abrahamic religions, I think everyone does this, but not to the extent that like we did it, is, you know, have a bunch of these rules, but basically like you're constantly in arbitration with God. Yeah. Where you're like, okay, I didn't fucking do any work on the Sabbath, but I smoked crack in a tunnel.
That's my favorite. It's just the concept of a Shabbos goy is so awesome.
I know a bunch of people who have like done it. It seems like a fun job. Their whole, I mean, speaking of people who like do haram or forbidden shit in the Hasid community, where like guys are religious enough to have like Shabbos goys and like do all this stuff and like go to the furthest extent of like a legalistic interpretation of like religious rules. I've also like encountered a lot of Hasidic guys who are like I don't want to say degenerates, but they really like to party.
Oh yeah.
But there's like a not as codified, but a similar aspect to it where they're like, okay, if I do this in New Jersey, it kind of doesn't count.
Oh, are you talking about the string? Like if you're outside of the boundaries of the string or something?
Yeah. There's like,
dude, Judaism is so sick. Like there's just a whole string that is in surrounding like I think it's Manhattan, right?
It's so like 6-year-old. I can do it outside of the string. It's so funny. Like it's awesome.
I bet you guys didn't know that.
I think I've told this story before, but like I had this friend in New York who was like very well off. His family was very, very rich. And he was a cool guy. He was like, he did what I think like everyone with like a father who has like kajillion fucking dollars should do, which is he was just like a photographer for like really hot women.
Yeah.
And he had this great place in Brooklyn, like this giant fucking like penthouse type place. It was really cool. But he was also the bad thing you can do if you're very rich, which is you're the type of, at the time, I think he's evolved since then, but at the time he was like the type of liberal who's like, I don't care who you vote for, you should vote, and it should be mandatory to vote. That's my number one issue, that everyone should vote.
Compulsory voting, but with all the current hangups for voting.
Yeah. I mean, he wanted it to be easy, but he was just like, that's if we can get everyone voting, we fix everything. But he had such an earnest view of politics that I think he cultivated his friend groups to be almost like focus groups. And it was like the weirdest mix of people I've ever seen, because we were like, I was in like my early to mid 20s. He was like a few years older than me. So it'd be like a couple people around my age, but then like the 62 like Dominican super for the building, like middle-aged hijabi, and then like a couple Hasids, like everyone, every group in New York you could think of was there. And one of the guys there was like one of those Hasid guys who's like, all right, I'm outside the string. It's like
Party time.
time to just fucking completely face a bottle of 151.
Wait, wasn't there a thing about like strippers within the Hasidic community in New York? Am I misremembering this?
Oh, there was a thing with herpes.
No, not that. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Not the circumcision thing, but like herpes going around among like Hasidic women because like husbands would come back home.
The Hasidic dive bar? No. Wait, what
is this like a strip club for Hasids? Specifically?
Stripper Hasid connection barred by ecstasy bust.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like an international ecstasy kingpin busted for smuggling the mind-bending pills into New York was using leggy strippers, Hasidic teens, and yarmulkes and senior citizens in New Age. No, this isn't it. Was this it? Sex strippers and cops on call. How two Orthodox Jews sparked New York's worst scandal in decades. Jewish community leaders say Jonah Rechnitz and Jeremy Reichberg embarrassed the whole community. They have ties to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Reichberg is a former volunteer police chaplain who grew up in a strictly religious enclave in Brooklyn. But according to prosecutors, they are both at the center of the worst public corruption case to hit New York in decades. The cast of characters sounds like a plot from a movie, includes powerful union boss with a taste for luxury who enjoys smoking cigars. They were arrested for a clutch of high-ranking cops have been arrested or fired for allegedly taking gifts and free trips, including one to Las Vegas, where they allegedly had sex with a prostitute on a private plane. Bill de Blasio is also being investigated by the FBI.
Innocent witch hunt.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He got through.
I hate all the people who are like, oh, well, Bill de Blasio should be in prison. Do you realize that if Bill de Blasio tried to steal $1 billion, within a day, he would have a tearful press conference where he announces he's giving back half of it, and then within a week would be $4 billion in debt somehow?
Yeah.
He's not up for it. Believe me.
What is this? The Jewish matriarchs of striptease?
Oh, this is just like a weird
like,
forward article.
Yeah, no, that's not it. Anyway, whatever. Why are we talking about Hasidic Jews? I don't even know.
We started from him.
We started from this guy.
We got to Patrick Bet David,
who is like this is the most like Long Island Italian man of all time.
He's probably
or Irish. Sorry, he's Massachusetts Irish.
He's Irish?
I think so, isn't it? His name is Harold J. Daggett.
Oh yeah. Sometimes like Italian guys will be named like Herman Brown,
Daggett,
but their last name is like truly crazy. It's changed at Ellis Island. I just like, no offense to the Irish out there. This is a 78-year-old man. When I see a 78-year-old Irish guy, or really, let's be real, like a 58-year-old Irish guy, they have like John Kerry syndrome, where their face is has a relief map type quality to it, you know? And he's very smooth.
Dude, he's killing it, dude. This is like wealthy people take care of themselves.
They
you know?
do, but like wealthy Irish guys are still kind of craggy. This is not a craggy man. This is
last name is Scottish origin. Okay.
They don't want to pay anybody.
What he has to say.
It's not only this union; it's in every union in every aspect. If they keep putting machinery to take our jobs, who's going to pay the income tax? Machines are not. Who's going to pay for the military, the roads? Everything runs by taxes. Take Easy Pass. The first time they come out with Easy Pass, one lane, and cars were going through and everybody's sitting in their car and go, what's that all about? I'm going to get one of them. Today, all those union jobs are gone, and it's all Easy Pass. People don't realize it. Everybody's got 3 cars. Everybody got an Easy Pass on the window. And they go through like it's nothing. And they get billed in the mail. They didn't care about that union worker working in the booth. You go in a store today, it's self-checking. They don't need anybody to check out no more. Someone has to get into Congress.
Okay, the self-checkout is a little bit better of an argument than Easy Pass, because that one you're kind of that's an own goal right there, buddy.
Yeah, I like mostly agree with this kind of stuff, but like the Easy Pass is probably the worst case you could have.
Yeah, it's like pure efficiency, like probably lowers like traffic density a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of not the best. Self-checkout does make sense because it sucks. It also literally ends up like, creating conditions for people to steal shit anyway. But obviously they make that calculation and it's still cheaper overall for them to not hire people.
Self-checkout is, it's the store robbing time from you, basically.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm totally against it. I think he should have started with that.
Yeah, that's a much stronger argument.
Yeah. But
because the entire point of the problem is that like they shouldn't have done self-checkout. They should have hired more cashiers, but the store doesn't want to do that, and then they make it harder and harder, and then you fucking wait in the line, and then they're like, oh, how about we just automate this process and only hire one person to control it every now and then.
Yeah, there's also an argument to be made that like operating at maximum efficiency for an economy is, if you're like, constantly inventing stuff or industrializing or whatever, there, see the value in it. But our economy is just built on people selling shitty shit to each other. We're a consumer economy.
Yeah.
Efficiency does not benefit us in quite the same way as like, a classical three-piece suit industrialist guy economy.
To say, whoa, time out. This world is going too fast for us. Machines got to stop. Yes, we're getting smart kids out of MIT and all these places. Yeah, they're all brilliant. But what good is it if you're going to put people out of work? Who's going to support their...
Okay, his attitude towards automation is exactly a 78-year-old man's opinion would be on automation. Like, automation is not a problem as long as it doesn't displace the existing labor force. As long as you get paid for your output, and if your output increases, your productivity increases as a consequence of automation, you get paid even more, okay? But the workplace doesn't get fucking displaced, then it's good. It's not a bad thing, okay? It's like we don't want to go back to fucking horse carts, right? Like cars are good. It's not the worst. It's not the worst technological improvement. Problem is, that's not how things work. Obviously, they do use automation specifically to fucking displace the existing workforce. They don't want to pay the existing workforce. It's a way to eke out larger profit margins.
Families, machines,
and then those
machines
people that are destitute,
families?
they serve the same purpose that like. The growing and incredibly visibly homeless in major urban centers do, which is to the people who still have jobs but are increasingly precarious and have less and less protections. You see those people who have fallen through the cracks, and it is a very visible warning to you not to fuck up or try anything.
Yeah. It inherently does. Hasan, that's how it works. Dude, what are you... Oh my God, dude! No, you're just claiming that it does automatically.
No.
Okay, it's not supposed to, or you don't have to do that. It's just that companies choose to use automation in that direction. Okay, because that's their ultimate goal is to generate higher profits. That's it. That's it.
I'm just caught up on him saying he loves self-checkout. That is a fucked up person. It's a maniac.
Yeah, I mean, come on, we're on Twitch. There's a lot of people that don't want to fucking talk to other humans when they go outside.
We should automate
You
that
gotta draw the line. These companies that work in the maritime business come from overseas. Not one of them belongs to America. They want to come into America and build fully automated terminals and get rid of American jobs. Good paying jobs. that support families with medical, pensions, annuities, and pay taxes. They want to get rid of them. Where's the President of the United States? He's not fighting for us. He told in LA, he told the union, hurry up and get a contract. That's the mentality they have. They don't even know what the hell they're doing today. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to save everybody's job when it comes to the ILA and to all the unions around the world, because we're going to fight it with that alliance. Doing today. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to save everybody's job when it comes to the ILA and to all the unions around the world, because we're going to fight it with that alliance. I'll shut them down throughout the world to prove that we can beat them. So, yes, your answer is we came a long way. We came along so advanced that technology is mind-boggling. We never had cameras on the piers. They got a camera in every pole. They got cameras they want to put in the trucks to watch the driver driving. What is this, Big Brother? I'm against all that. I'm against that. A man can't even breathe without a camera looking at him. That's not.
I like that.
I love 78-year-olds.
Okay, he's awesome.
He's the greatest. He was talking. He had this whole thing prepared about like automation and the economy, and he's like, and another thing, I should be able to smoke a black and mild on the job.
Yeah. Why can't we do our own 5-figure discounts every now and then? Hey, what the fuck?
My test for you as an American is like, whenever you find out, like the types of stories the New York Post fucking loves running, the ones where it's like, this fucking MTA guy gets paid $375,000 a year and he goes to work twice a week. If you're like, if that is an animating cause for you, if you are against guys like that, guys who have, you know, either gamed the system or legitimately accrued seniority and everything, if you are against a guy like this making like $400,000 a year in an economy where like you can make $70 million making a bad chat bot that sucks and loses money, then you're a maniac. We're not part of the same team.
Yeah.
Right.
What about, there certainly must be, since 1967, elements of technology that have been good for the industry.
Technology that's been good for the industry. That's a tough one because I got to be careful because I'm against automation. Semi-automation is automation. It's just the back avenue had to come in and give you automation without you knowing it. But certain technology, yes, is good because computers, we get more work done with computers.
You on the phone?
We have doubled the cargo. We have, if you look now, we have ships that are being built by these companies. Check this out. That whole 22,000 containers. It's a floating city. They had to take the Bayonne Bridge and raise it way up here so the ships could go under it to get in here to unload them. 22,000 containers. It's amazing how we came from the first ship with just a small amount of containers. 25, 50 boxes on them. So look at the future now. Look at the future in money. They went from millions of dollars to billions and billions of dollars. So the world is going by real quick.
Is it safe to say that you're not against technology for efficiencies, but you're person first, people first, like protecting jobs and families while embracing technology to keep the workflow efficient?
Let me explain a little bit about this. The first cranes that went up with diesel engines up there. As time went on, they got rid of diesel. Today, it's electric. The jobs on the waterfront are very dangerous. Just 2 years ago, one of my mechanics fell into the electric and he was fried to death. Wife, 4 kids. Happens all the time on the piers. People getting killed. There was a woman checker. She was checking the boxes when a guy had a high-low with 2 stacks of steel. He should have been riding in reverse. He was looking through the bundles, knocked her down. He didn't even see it. Dragged her under the high-low in front of her son, ripped her apart and killed her. It happens.
Christ.
It happens down here all the time. I had 2 guys killed right in front of me. It happens.
This is why I think he's Italian.
Because
this is an old Italian guy thing, just kind of out of nowhere. They'll be like, did you hear about the toddler that was skinned alive? And you're like, what?
Okay, he's literally making, he has so far convinced me that automation is in fact good.
Yeah.
And that there should be more of it for safety, and that this guy, like, I only heard the part where he talks about like the effectiveness of a strike in a clip on, I think I saw it on TikTok or something, that I really liked from this interview. I did not realize the rest of the interview was him not realizing that he's making an argument for automation. Okay.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love this guy, but like, he spent about 5 minutes just being like, I love the passage of time.
Yeah.
How it used to be a small ship and now it's a big ship. And then the interviewer's trying to get him back on course.
Yeah.
And he's like,
no, but let me tell you about this other guy that got skinned alive.
yeah.
All right. This guy, one of my workers, fell in the electric, fried his ass.
There was a real nice girl. You like to see her coming, walking away, if you know what I mean. She flew to Earth she flew to work with an umbrella like Mary Poppins. Everyone loved her. You know what happened to her? Skewered and spun around and turned into shawarma. Fried, baked, basted.
We have a group in our local 1804 dead called the Lashes. The most dangerous job on the waterfront.
Oh my God!
When they put the containers,
He's still
more
going.
dangerous than that.
Stop! Don't, dude, don't get into it. No.
This is like the killing fields.
Yeah, he's like, we sometimes if there's not enough dead, I kill them. Personally, we got a quota.
on top of that,
they're done. See these glasses? These are fashion glasses, not urban intellectual glasses.
Yeah, if I had
those
to
are the first to go.
Yeah, if I had to see out of these fucking glasses, they'd shoot me dead.
I'd load the bullet for them.
the hatch covers all the way up high. You see them in the container ship. They got to be all lashed down in case the storm and the seas are real rough. The ship is doing this and this. If they're not lashed down right, those containers are going to go over into the ocean and sink. Millions of dollars of cargo sunk. So what? My men got to go out there. It's 0 degrees. There's ice on top of the container. It's freezing with metal bars and hooks, safety lines on them, way up high. And they got to put them down tight, get up on the box, slide on the ice up on top. Completely dangerous. That's in the north. In the south, it could be 95, 105 degrees. Soaking wet down there. They got a guy that goes around, they call him the water boy, giving water to the men so they don't dehydrate. Or the ones that work in the hull of the ship, they get water. It's different elements. You have us here in the north, Canada. You have from Virginia down, all the way to Houston. Hot. Florida, everything's hot. Different elements. Dangerous job. We've had 17 people killed in the last 3 years.
Why are you doing
17
that?
people didn't come home. We just had a kid killed in Houston. Young kid, a big
What argument are you
roll of paper, weighed a ton, rolled off on top of him, killed him. That's why I fight. I fight for jurisdiction. I fight for safety. I fight for these to be compensated with good salaries. These companies are making billions of dollars. They should take us along. We brought them to.
Like, if he brought this up in terms of like the workplace conditions and how they need to be improved, and that was like a part of his argument, then that's fine. But like, he's talking about this as a counter to the automation argument.
Yeah.
It's just
I can kind of try to figure out why he brought it up, but it's still like really not making the case, unfortunately.
yeah. I mean, it is a tough job. It's not an
Where
easy
they
fucking
are.
job at all.
Now do you want to get rid of us?
Nerve-wracking.
That's not fair.
Nerve-wracking. I would hate
Not
to be in
fair
this
at all.
position, but
Yeah.
And this union's been around close to 200 years. So you can see why I'm always fighting.
Why do you think you haven't had to strike since then?
Because you had leaders like me, and the companies got smart and said, we don't want to go through another 3 months strike. Let's negotiate in good faith.
This is the good part.
Back then, the companies didn't make the money that we make today. So we negotiated in good faith. We went with 6-year contracts. And we got $1 raise, $1.50 raise for 6 years. It was great. It was a lot of money compared to 80 cents for 3 months. But today's world, it's changing into the future. They're not making millions no more. They're making billions. And they're spending it fast as they make it. I want a piece of that for my men. Because when they made their most money was during COVID. When my men had to go to work on those piers every single day, when everybody stayed home and went to work. Not my men. They died out there with the virus. We all got sick with the virus. We kept them going. From Canada to Maine to Texas, Great Lakes, Puerto Rico, now the Bahamas, everybody went to work during COVID. Nobody stayed home. Well, I want to be compensated for that. I'm not asking for the world. They know what I want. They know what I want. And if they don't, well, then I have to go into the street and we have to fight for what we rightfully deserve.
Do you think, this is my last question, do you think the threat of the strike is, they can understand the significance of that based on the recent things that have happened, like our Key Bridge, we're from Maryland, our Key Bridge collapsing and it just stopping all the ships from being able to deliver?
I'm glad you brought that up, because I would like to tell you something.
Okay.
When that bridge fell, my longshoremen are on this side of the bridge, no work, no salaries. Biden called me up on the phone, President Biden. Harold, I got the money to build a new bridge. I go, oh. What about my longshoremen? They're out of work now. They didn't cause no problem. Well, he goes, I got the money for building a new bridge and getting the bridge that's in the water out of there. I ask you one more time, President, what about the men whose families now have no money coming in? Well, you know, if there was an explosion on a ship, maybe I can get the money. Listen, you're supposed to be a friend of the ILA. You came to me when you wanted the AFL CIO backing. I got it for you. You called me in the kitchen, you thanked me 1,000,000 times. I'm telling you, my members need help. Well, let me see what I can do. In politics, that means you're not getting it, okay? I opened up a...
I love this guy.
Yeah.
He's so sick.
I would give anything to hear the conversation with him and Biden.
Yeah.
That was probably fantastic.
Harold. Look alive. We got money maybe in the tank. Going to Israel.
I told you, I want to help the NAACP, whatever you are.
Of fun with management.
You're a real
after
battle
the first
guy,
pandemic.
Harold.
Let me see how much money's in that fund. I called them up. They called me back. It's $300 million. Wow, are you kidding me? We put $300 million in there? Yeah. Well, I'd like to take some money out of there and pay for those families in Baltimore. Well, Harold, it's only for pandemic. Well, what about we get your lawyers and my lawyers, and any disaster, nature disaster, whatever, we can draw from it. I have no problem as long as the lawyers work it out. They worked it out in one day. It cost me $1.2 million every week to pay for their families. Plus, they were allowed to go to unemployment. And it's over now. They're back working. The ships are going in and out. I never got no help from the government. We did it on our own, management and union. That's what we're supposed to be doing, working together. And I hope we get back into that right realm.
Do you think
that was in Baltimore?
Right.
What was the question again?
Well, it was just about, like, I remember, like, how significantly it impacted our businesses, like the supply chain, because I live on the Chesapeake Bay, and all the ships were just waiting on the other side.
Let me explain something to you. These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the companies money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
The music is really funny at the end, but yeah, I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
And he's great. That last part is the only part that I saw from this interview that I thought was really good. And not the long, convoluted explanations of how many of his workers were dying in horrifying circumstances that could potentially be automated. But
he did the Academy Awards, like This Is Who Died This Year, but like his take on it, certainly.
Yeah. But that's a good take. Wait, let's see what they're saying on
over the weekend. The past
Secretary of Labor Julie Sue has been terrific. She's knocking down doors. She's trying to stop this. She's trying to get us to a media where we can have a fair negotiations. It's the companies that don't want to. They don't want to sit here and be fair. So that's why we're out here fighting for our livelihood.
What more from the automation do you want? What more protections could there be?
What more?
Yeah, they have language in there now.
Not strong enough, because what happens is they come in with new technology. We just caught them in Mobile, Alabama, called Autogate, and that means the trucks are coming in and they're already checked in somewhere else and not using the checkers in the ILA. Circumventing the contract. They don't care. They don't care. It's not fair. And if we don't put our foot down now, they would like to run over us, and we're not going to allow that.
You are going to grind the economy to a halt here on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast.
No.
Yeah, it's like, dude, the part that's like very frustrating. Obviously, media is never this adversarial to those in positions of power or any fucking corporate CEO. Like, why don't you ask this question to a fucking CEO? Why is it never this exact question? They have literally singular power to end this strike. He doesn't. He has to take a contract back. He has to fight his fucking hardest. He has to take that contract back to his rank and file. That rank and file has to ratify the contract democratically. Okay? He has to do literally the best possible job he could do so that his own fucking workers actually vote for the contract to ratify it. The CEO, on the other hand, could literally, with the stroke of a fucking pen, stop the strike dead in its tracks by conceding to the reasonable demands made by the union. And you never, ever, with the exception of some labor reporters, and they're not working in mainstream press for the most part, they never, and it's not just Fox News, it is every goddamn media company. Don't act like this is just a Fox News situation. CBS, CNN, NBC, ABC, I never, ever hear this question being directed at the CEOs. Why? One must ask the question, why? Every single part of American news media operates on the exact same principle. It is always, and it's not just American news media, it's the same in the UK. It's the same everywhere else, okay? They never ask the question to the fucking CEOs, why are you crippling the economy?
Yeah, no, that is obviously all political institutions and political media in America is extremely degenerated and showing the ill effects of everyone being on the computer. But when you want to see cable news in its most efficient, closest to origin function, it's stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's what, acting as the cheerleading section for the Pinkertons and Spirit.
For sure.
That is, Fox is, that's like, the reason that Fox will probably always exist to do this during strikes. Same with CNN, same with MSNBC. Every network has, I would say CNN, their core purpose like this is more so like America's wars. Fox's is more strikes and stuff like this. I'm recalling Steven Crowder's star-making turn.
Oh yeah, when he got fucking clocked in the face.
But they all basically have this editorial position.
Yeah. That's precisely it.
Not us. They are. Don't spin it now because you're Fox News. They're going to drive it.
But are you worried?
They're going driving.
Are you worried that
They
this
have the
strike?
capital to settle this thing.
Are you worried that this strike is going to hurt the everyday American, the farmers that need to reach the export market? They're
Listen,
telling me that they're going to hurt through
Now
all
you
of this.
start to realize who the longshoremen are, right?
Nobody cares.
People never gave a about us until now, when they finally realized that the chain is being broke now. Cars won't come in. Food won't come in. Clothing won't come in. You know how many people...
Teamsters also have this level of power as well. Similarly, like any aspect of the labor union that touches the supply chain. I mean, most labor unions are this powerful. That's the reason why we've gutted them, because they could completely shut down the economy if they chose to do so, and that's why we have so many different legal ways of like forcing them back to work. Which, to credit, Genocider Brandon is not doing that. Like and they have been relatively strong on the labor front, and they have reiterated their commitment as well, which is really funny because like all the liberals are like, these guys are so stupid. They're doing a cargo cult like in their defense for labor unions, when this guy is like a secret Trump supporter or an overt Trump supporter. And he's in the tank for Donald Trump. He's like trying to create an inflation crisis right before the fucking election to hurt the Democratic Party's chances. That's what they're saying about him.
In what way did that guy mean cargo cult?
I don't.
Does he just like it just, I saw that post. It just doesn't seem to be applied in the correct way.
I don't even. Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, he said, Joe Biden said ocean carriers have made record profits since the pandemic, and in some cases, profits grew in excess of 800%. It's only fair that workers see a meaningful increase in their wages as well. I don't care about forcing them back to work. I did NATO.
AUKUS.
AUKUS, Jack, Five Eyes. Look alive.
It's so funny. It's so funny that like, yeah, this is like, you know, this is one area where like Kamala is, should she win, will undoubtedly be shittier than Brandon on. But it's also funny that like it is sort of his thing with unions and like American workers in general is sort of inseparable from a lot of his more defining traits, specifically in foreign policy, because part of his pitch, if he was capable of more coherence, is that like, you know, America's perpetual state of funding various proxies is good because the actual jobs of like making the missiles are high paying, high skilled like labor jobs.
Yeah.
And it is like just like that is like a if he were capable of expressing that, it is like a sort of shocking concept to run on.
It's just interesting to me that there was another group of individuals that got together and collectively disrupted shipping. And their reasoning for it was to stop the genocide in Israel. And Biden did not like that at all. He didn't like it so much that he spent billions of dollars trying to stop those guys unsuccessfully.
Well, they fucked around and found out. They found out why America doesn't have more 3-day weekends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait till like 30 years from now we get like the full extent of what happened during Operation Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Because it's similar to the Israeli thing of like, we're not showing the pictures for, but then nothing happened, you know? With Operation Amazon Prime, there are all these like ships that were like made in 2017 where it's like, it's gotta go back to fucking Qatar for no reason. Nothing happened to it.
Yeah.
Depend on our jobs, half the world. And it's time for them and time for Washington to put so much pressure on them to take care of us, because we took care of them and we're here 135 years and brought them where they are today, and they don't want to share.
And I mean, I guess they have a working clause that they don't disrupt military shipments anyway. So there's that as well. ILA will maintain pledge to handle military cargo during strike and passenger cruise ships. two key sectors for the American economy.
If we, is anyone out there in chat? Are you passenger? Are you cruise ship people? Anyone in there? Anyone in the thousands of people? I never encounter anyone who.
My podcast co-host went on a ship once. He went on a cruise ship once. He did not like it.
Yeah, that's like, that is. They're gonna be like, airships. I don't think anyone below the age of 60 like routinely goes on them or goes on them at all.
I don't really understand it. I think it's like really weird. Also, to be fair, he is gay. My podcast co-host, the one that went on a cruise.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it was a gay cruise, so that doesn't even make sense. Yeah, I don't really get it.
Fucking weird sector of the economy.
Yeah.
I think that cruise ships, they should be like American super carriers, and they should be nuclear powered.
Blue MAGA. I'm all for unions, but
okay,
we have a problem with this guy in the dockwork strike with 45,000 longshoremen striking from Maine to Texas, don't we? This is our October surprise.
No, October, you guys.
No, your October surprise is Israel.
October surprise.
Yeah. No, yeah. Biden was like, oh, give me an October promise, Jack. Promise that you'll invade Lebanon. Yeah. I hate those lesbians.
It's the equivalent to like if in 1980 Carter like got in contact with Kavini. He was like, "Can you kill half the hostages?"
Yeah, yeah, he did
kill
that.
half the hostages.
He did that himself.
Pussy.
ILA President Daggett enjoys a long relationship with Donald Trump going back decades. Like he literally endorsed Joe Biden.
Yeah,
he endorsed Joe Biden. Why would he have done that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why would he have done that then? He should have just endorsed Donald Trump last time. Or maybe he's like J.D. Vance. He's like, I thought Donald Trump was Hitler. I was lied to.
Yeah. And then we find
I was groomed as a 68-year-old man.
And we find a bunch of DMs from like 2 years ago where it's just DMing a random guy. Actually, I like Biden, but I'm for Trump because I'm corrupt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny that these guys have no way of looking at the situation and being like, maybe they want to get paid more. And you are supposed to use the maximum amount of leverage that you have. Like, why won't the union strike in a more opportune time is such a funny thing that people say in America. It's like, what do you mean? An opportune time? So like easier to avoid for the fucking companies? Like, what do you mean?
It's that just like at a better time thing is just like a central part of like post-Obama liberalism too.
Yeah, now is not the time, guys.
Don't do it during midterms. Don't do it during a presidential election. Don't do it when Congress is in session. The president is trying to get his agenda passed.
Yeah. Don't do it at the top of the hour, chat, when there's a 3-minute ad break. Boom. How about that? The way that you can collectively avoid it is by subscribing. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. The Democrats want undying loyalty from union members and labor leaders. We saw it with Sean O'Brien. I mean, they literally are fucking riding with a union on this one. So I don't know if you're right about the undying loyalty aspect. You're right in terms of like the Democratic Party's calculation. They literally have, on the one hand, they're like, oh, we're going to do the Hitlerian policy of 2020 that we ran against for undocumented immigrants. On the other hand, they're literally like getting the entirety of the culinary union in Nevada to go door knock for Kamala Harris. So like, it's an insane situation, okay? But having said that, this administration, and I keep repeating this over and over again, has been more pro-labor than every other fucking contemporary Democrat or obviously Republican administration. It's true.
It is, yeah.
Kamala Harris literally told Sean O'Brien, even if you don't fucking endorse me, I will act like you did. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll, for all intents and purposes, I think like the Democratic Party has changed trajectory a little bit on a couple key areas. One of them would be the NLRB. The other one is the FTC. I think they've done a decent job on both. Having said that, however, they're also permanent genocide of the Middle East. So, do with that information what you will.
Yeah, and a immigration policy that I am not seeing the yields for it. No one has ever made that make sense in such a way.
What do you mean?
Just the
In terms of like
calculation,
why? Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think
because you can't.
you know what I think it is. I think it's literally climate change. Maybe like I think that they're just like fielding. I think that they're just like gearing up the American population for the Fourth Reich. Like they recognize the writing on the wall. They're not going to do anything about climate change. It's going to get worse and worse, and you're going to have climate migrants. And this is their only climate policy. They're not going to harden the infrastructure. They're going to harden the border wall.
Yeah, I just mean like the popularism rationale for it.
Yeah.
You know, the yields for that are just not yet to be seen.
Climate migrants. And this is their only climate policy. They're not going to harden the infrastructure. They're going to harden the border wall.
Yeah, I just mean like the popularism rationale for it.
Yeah.
You know, the yields for that are just not yet to be seen.
It just it's bad policy, bad politics overall. It's just perfect.
And it just like when you're like, we're passing Donald Trump's fucking immigration bill, it makes it look like what makes it look like this, because it kind of is this, where, you know, for years you're saying it's horrible, it's racist, you're campaigning on kids in cages, and then it makes it seem like in the last 18 months you went, actually we were lying about that, and we're so sorry about it that we're going to try to pass your policy.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing to like what Democrats would do when, like, you know, the Acorn thing happened, or Shirley Sherrod, where it's like their response to the controversy or even the hint of people being mad at them is to immediately like throw someone under the bus. And it's like, well, then that's like deleting your phone when you're Eric Adams. Now you sure as shit look guilty.
Yeah. My only policy is I vote for whoever replies to me on Twitter by directly adding me.
Well, this is so low rent. What he's
doing follow for follow.
He's playing Don. This is incredible.
All I'm saying is he wants to win more than the Democrats do, and it's usually the Republican Party that is always like fighting hard to win, and this man will go on any podcast. Okay. If there is like one guy who has never voted in his entire life, believes in every conspiracy theory that he's ever heard, so much so that it almost like looped back into real world shit, like he like now actually has like a coherent worldview. If that guy's going to go out and vote for him because Donald Trump went on a podcast, he's going to go on that podcast. Like, he's going to go on Hawk Tua before the end of this fucking cycle, okay?
I would say like a 51% chance that happens.
Yeah, I could see it. But
you should go on Club Random.
Club Random.
They would probably agree on wokeness.
They should go on. They should bring back the FaZe Banks Basement podcast.
Oh my! FaZe Banks he's in a renaissance now.
Yeah,
I've been so happy.
Yeah,
I was so.
That's my goat.
He like disappeared after the only 3 episodes of Mom's Basement aired.
Yeah.
There were only 3 episodes of it. The infamous XXXTentacion one, Shane Dawson, and Ninja. Those are the 3 episodes that exist. But he like vanished from the world right after that. But he has he's been everywhere now, and it's really
he's entertaining going on Red Scare. All right, hold on, I gotta pee real quick. But here, this is the thing I wanted to show. Obviously, FEMA announced a $9 billion budget shortfall. And the same day they gave $8.7 billion in weapons to Israel. You make sense of this.
All right. So does anyone out there in Chatland, because I have not yet been able to ascertain this, what are the weapons that Israel actually got in this specific package? I'm presuming it's a lot of GBU 31s, 32s, JDAM kits. Seeing a lot of JDAMs. Well, yeah, bombs and shit, obviously. I don't think that they're getting, like, I don't know, a Coke Freestyle machine. I mean, what specific munitions? Okay. Never mind. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. The mouse is so far away. This is really making this segment tough for me. All right. All right. Well, okay. Do any of these articles want to tell me what was in the package? God. Penetrative GBU 31s. Makes sense. We got to the bottom of nothing. I was struggling to find the mouse or to get a hold of the mouse. I asked questions.
That's why it's the most difficult job, dude.
Yeah, it was hard.
It's the hardest fucking job in the goddamn world. But yeah, FEMA announced a $9 billion budget shortfall for Hurricane Helene recovery. Same day, the U.S. gave $8.7 billion in weapons to Israel. On September 26, FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell updated reporters on the forecast for supporting communities suffering from Hurricane Helene. We're already through INF, the immediate needs funding, close to $9 billion in projects that we have to put on hold that we can't reimburse communities for. Seems like the FEMA administrators also in the pocket for Donald Trump.
All of these people. Now is not the fucking time.
Yeah, how about you shut the fuck up and do your job, right? It's like, sweetie, we have to vote for the Democrats. The same day that Israel announced that it had secured an $8.7 billion weapons package from the United States paid for by American taxpayers, I, for one, think this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think that Israel deserves it more than people in Asheville, North Carolina. Sorry.
Yeah, try having a pride parade in Asheville. You'll get thrown off a roof.
Yeah.
Do you know what they do to gay people in Asheville?
That's what the upper middle class white folk living in Asheville are doing. The liberals.
That's what they do to bottoms. They say we have enough bottoms. There's a top crisis, and they throw you off a roof. Yeah, I'd like to see you be a fucking girl boss in Asheville. Not gonna happen, honey.
Yeah. Well,
I have been thinking about this, and there's been a lot of discussion about this, about like this sort of truism that people do a lot now, especially sort of like right adjacent internet personalities, where it's like, we're sending, X amount of money to Ukraine, but we can't spend, X amount of money on Y, when usually it's people who don't support spending X amount of money on Y. And, obviously people make the point that it's like unsophisticated because it's different sources of funding. It's the
classic, like, oh, we don't even take care of our homeless veterans. It's like, bro, I saw you spitting on a homeless veteran yesterday. Like, shut the fuck up. You call the cops on a homeless veteran to kill the guy.
Yeah.
And then next day you're tweeting about how you care about homeless veterans only when the immigrants come up.
Yeah. But like with that, being a truism or unsophisticated, it's less salient than the fact that, like, yeah, North Carolina is fucking underwater. We sent what
it's cool because it's also currently like a swing state as well. Like, it's a state that they want to win.
North Carolina underwater. What was the first question in the VP debate last night?
Yeah.
Whether it is the same source of money or not, and sure, it's not in a lot of these cases, the locus of attention and effort by the White House is a much more salient point. And it's very clear where the effort and attention is going.
Yes. It is manufacturing a circumstance in which they end up inevitably losing the election because the one fucking pariah state that they have done this double suicide pact with is being run by a guy who's like openly in the tank for your opposition.
Yeah. You think the longshoreman guy likes Trump?
Yeah.
Wait till you fucking get a load of this guy.
Yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu, who flew to Mar-a-Lago like to kiss the ring. It's cool. It's really cool that we're just the Democratic. How do you square this circle when you see everybody talking about we got to win every voter, we got to win every like right wing guy by being marginally more and more right wing on every issue. Okay, we got to win the Nikki Haley constituency, which is definitely going to vote for Trump. We got to win those guys over, but also hundreds of thousands of people with an increasing number of new people that we're adding on to that coalition of people who are just like, dude, you're killing my family members. You know, like hundreds of thousands of fucking voters in key states. They can fuck off. We can win without them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my strategy for Democrats this year. Let's all vote for Donald Trump to show Republicans were reasonable.
Yeah.
And then the next election in 2028 will be like, well, we voted for him.
Yeah. If you vote for him, he will win. And also, you can convince him. You can convince him if you vote for him.
He's going to be bad, but we have to vote for him now so that in 2028, when his successors or when JD Vance is running, we'll go, look, we supported Trump, but this guy is so bad and such a threat that we're voting for the Democrat this time. Okay,
you're also like, you're joking, but you're also basically describing Democrat strategy from 2020 to 2024.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. What is this? To understand this and to continue to ship weapons is monstrous. If Biden thinks Netanyahu is tanking a ceasefire deal and trying to get Trump elected, it is that much more shameful that he still won't make even a minimal effort to use his leverage over Israel. Biden told his confidants he did not believe his Israeli counterpart wanted a ceasefire deal, arguing that Netanyahu was trying to perpetuate the conflict to save his political future and assist Trump in November's election.
What is your plan here then? What are you doing? What are you fucking doing then?
He's just, I'm Israel high.
Yeah.
Look alive.
That's the only explanation.
No, you know what it is? He's a secret Nazi. Okay? Hear me out. Hear me out. And he's like, no, listen, if I act like Jews do control me with mind control powers, then we can get all the Americans to also feel that way. And then we can do the Fourth Reich. Like, it makes no sense. What are you doing?
It's baffling. It is hard to figure out who the bigger fuck up is. Is it Jazzman Blinken? Is it Biden? Is it fucking
Kirby?
Kirby.
I hate him so
Kirby's
much.
Pretty awful, but I feel like
Brett McGurk. Or the other guy who was an IDF guy. What was the Amon something? The two dudes that apparently convinced the two dudes that were like, no, go into Lebanon. It'll be sick. Amos Hochstein.
Yeah.
Hochstein.
Like with that, it's like, okay, they're just agents of another government.
Dude, this is my favorite. Mossad has Biden there. He's 800 years old, dude. You think he's like, bro, he can't even wipe his own butt. You think he's like
gonna die like next year.
He's like, I'm really worried about the compromising photos that they have of me. We have seen the dicks of every Biden. Okay, we can. I already know what his cock looks like. I've seen many different versions of it. Okay, it's probably nice. All right. All things considered.
What is the dirt? Is it like? Actually, Joe Biden's dad did not say "love is love" in 1949. He did something much worse.
Yeah, like what could the dirt on Joe Biden be that is like so damning he doesn't want it out there, and that's why he's unconditionally riding with Israel.
It's like it's gonna be like all stuff that like everyone already knows.
Yeah, he's
lying
really
about.
old. He's demented.
He's really old. He lied about being arrested protesting apartheid. Like all these things that were already but he's just too old to realize that like that already happened.
Yeah, no, it's gonna come out that he doesn't actually support NATO.
Yeah, that's it. He in private moments he condemns AUKUS.
No.
Oh, fucking come on.
No. The book by Ben Shapiro being adapted. Music and lyrics by David Shapiro.
David Shapiro on a David Shapiro production.
We will rise. Damn. This is gonna, dude, this is.
The soldier looks like, by the way, the soldier looks like he's walking the kid into his first day at Dachau. He's like, okay, have fun, loser. They did such a bad job. The soldier's like, could you quit crying?
Yeah, no,
we're already fucking 5 minutes late to Dachau.
No, the fucking.
I have to go get killed in Merkava.
No, this is base because the kid's Palestinian. Like they're saying like this is what is happening.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude! What the fuck, dude? Dude, this shit is so crazy, man. Oh my
Can we
god!
take AI away from Israel? Like,
dude.
Can you guys stop? My god.
Oh, it's crazy. The title in Hebrew is "We Will Avenge Again." Oh, nice.
No.
Yeah, no, this is definitely
Beautiful.
AI art. Look how fucked up everything is.
They love AI in Israel. They use AI for things that don't even like make sense to use AI for. They're obsessed with it.
Like you could take this photo, you could Photoshop it,
Yeah.
but nope, they AI'd it. Also, like it's still a weird image on top of the fact that yes, it looks like an IDF soldier is like, you know, walking a Jewish child into a concentration camp. But like, it's also weird because it's like this beautiful field, and then it's the IDF soldier in like full combat fatigue. It's just like none of it makes sense. Like, are they saying that like, yeah, because of the IDF, we have these beautiful fields? Like, it makes no. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
You found the program for the musical.
Ooh.
We Will Rise is the first musical of its kind in Israel, combining deep and exceptional writing by Ben Shapiro, powerful music and lyrics by David Shapiro, and moving performances by some of the best actors. The musical features Israel's Sinfonietta Be'er Sheva with an ensemble of 30 musicians on stage conducted by Ronnie Calderon. It's an epic, devastating, and uplifting historical story of the... Wait, what the fuck? Wait, this is literally pro-Palestinian.
Yeah, the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising to October 7th.
Wait.
Well, they're saying the post-October 7th reality, but it's like...
Why are you so like? I kept saying this in the early days of October. I was like, if I'm Israel, I'm probably not using ISIS all the time because, like, if you Google Israel ISIS, you're gonna not like what the news information that comes up. Israel gives weapons to ISIS soldiers. Israel offers medical treatment to ISIS soldiers.
ISIS on 5th straight year of not attacking Israel.
Yeah, it's like weird that they kept doing that. Like, if I'm Israel, I'm probably not using, Hamas's ISIS as a direct counter. But also this, like, never mention the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in the same sentences of October 7th because the similarities are crazy. It's like right there for people to look at.
Yeah, at this point, as an Israeli, you should never bring it up. Because also their entire thing is that like everyone who died in the Holocaust is like weak, and so like just pretend that didn't happen. It'll serve you better. Yeah, I love this phrase. Some of the best actors we have. That's so true. Like the Trump symbiote is in Ben Shapiro now.
Yeah. A young artist who wants to escape the ghetto, Malka. A dreamer and a rebel who wants to fight for her people's survival, Mary. A convert who only wants to save her daughter, Mordecai Anilovitz, leader of the Fighting Underground, and Adam, I can't say that last name. Okay. It's Polish, I think.
Let me try my best. Zerniakow.
That was pretty good.
Zerniakow.
I think that was good.
Born and raised in Chicago.
We Will Rise was originally written as the story of the Jews of Warsaw, pushed together by fate and bound together in common destiny. Despite internal and political disagreements, the enemies of the Jewish people do not distinguish between opinions and countries. As a nation, we have no choice but to unite as a family. After October 7th, this message has become even more important and relevant. Only by embracing eternal destiny, we can rise up together. That's it. Oh, here, there's more.
Okay.
They got... Oh
this fucking...
There's always like one guy who's like fallen out of favor in Hollywood that will participate in this. That's what I'm looking for right now. It's like some random dude. Nope. Yoav Mikhaili, director.
All these Israeli TV shows he worked on sound great.
Yeah.
The Bigamist, The Arbitrator, The Loners. This is how they titled TV in like 1953 when there were 4 shows.
Yeah. I don't know how many shows they have. And Zachary Levi will be in the next one. Oh, wait. I didn't know Zachary Levi wasn't Jewish. Did you know that he like adopted his like middle name to sound more Jewish because he thought he would get better roles in Hollywood or something?
That's
Did I get
hilarious.
Duped? Did I get duped into this? Into believing this, or is this real? Hold on, we have to look this up. Maybe someone on Counter-Strike told me.
I love that that's shorthand for just like
Yeah.
bullshit.
No, hold on. Let me see. He's been vague about that. Levi is his middle name, and using your middle name to enter SAG isn't unusual. He's definitely joked about it being mistaken for being Jewish in Hollywood. That's something as an asset in a vacuum. What? No, that's not. I feel like there's definitely hold on. He said, because I think he recently said in a piece, he said in a piece that like they're being anti-Semitic to him or something, and people were like, "You're not Jewish."
Okay, I have to. Let me confirm.
Yeah, look. Actor Zachary Levi said he's recently been turned down for multiple roles because he was told he was too Jewish. Wait, is he actually Jewish or not?
I'm ascertaining it. Though he has no Jewish ancestry, Levi is often incorrectly perceived to be Jewish due to his stage name.
Yes! Yes!
God, he's the perfect RFK voter. If only he could actually vote for RFK.
Wait, but why is this Tablet magazine article making it seem like he is Jewish?
It's Tablet. You know, like they are out to lunch.
They're doing the black Israelite Shakespeare was black, but for Zachary Levi, there wasn't a target-rich environment of very famous Jewish actors, so we're just assuming that the guy who played Chuck is Jewish.
I love the idea that like he did this as like a scheme where he's like, all right, all the producers are Jewish, and once they think I'm Jewish, I'll get everything. And like it's going well, he's Chuck. But then, like, a producer catches on, and that's when everything starts going downhill. Dude. That's when they shovel steroids down his throat to make him play a character who never takes his outfit off.
Thor star Zachary Levi says he's been turned down for roles because he's too Jewish, even though he's not Jewish at all. Yo! Dude, that's awesome.
Oh, I think this is a Tyler Fisher thing, because, like, they were never going to give him the role anyway. And like the casting director or whatever was like, yeah, you're like too Jewish or something. And he's like, well, there you go.
That's amazing. No, he did the I'm not Jewish, but Jewish before George Santos. He's the one. He's the one.
Man.
Oh my God.
My fucking God.
Do you want to go to the Scooter Braun Nova Music Festival installation?
Does sound pretty good.
Okay, we might.
Yeah, where is it?
I don't know, but one of my buddies hit me up and asked me if I would like to attend it and take a look.
Will I be like killed on site there?
I feel like there's someone there that could get killed on site before you. They'd be like,
I'll like if we get in trouble, I'll get us out of it. If someone stops us, I'll be like, oh my God.
This is where Brace is like, he can go to that and people will not bat an eye.
Yeah.
Brace and Liz went, yeah, I know. That's why I kind of want to go and check it out.
I haven't gone to like a goofy conservative thing in a while. I always talk about how much fun I had at CPAC and how badly I want to go to something like that again.
Yeah.
I think I'll be fine there.
Zachary Levi, not Jewish. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Not Harold, not Magic.
I heard multiple times I was too Jewish, he told Confidential, which is surprising because I go by Zachary Levi. Levi is my middle name. Pugh is my real last name. I'm Welsh. That's incredible. Won't Cutie kill you for going to that? Cutie? I get fucking killed by K-pop stans who were pro-Palestine before. Yeah. Oh yeah, Scooter Braun is linking up.
Scooter Braun is like the perfect celebrity for Israel.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like he's... They can really pick him.
Yeah, former hostage Noah Argamani met Ed Sheeran and Post Malone via Scooter Braun, who made the introduction. Noah, you deserve all the happiness in the world. You get all the happiness in the world by meeting Post Malone.
He looks thrilled.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he definitely is gonna remember
Look
this.
at him in the background.
Yo, get me.
Oh yeah.
I'm wearing my casual hat.
Wait, what? Shai Davide has tattoos, which notoriously makes him ineligible to be buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Well, like taking tattoos from a Gen Xer as Shai David is, well, it's kind of like forcing a Hasid to turn on his own light switches on the.
Yeah, he's so sick. He's so cool.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love my favorite post of the last year. On Saturday, I went viral at Columbia because I cried. he's very
it's so
funny.
He got like progressively more manic. First, he tried to do the lib shit for like a day.
Yeah,
and then very quickly dropped it and was like cackling, like with such bloodlust. He literally went from like, oh, I cry for everyone, I'm so sad about everything that's going on, to like, we should kill the Jewish students that are leading these protests in Colombia.
He couldn't hold it together for a week. He was like, people in Israel call me a terrorist sympathizer, but I want coexistence for everybody. And then like just a week passes.
Oh man, such wonderful things here in the United States of America. Is
there anyone like notable in here? It seems like there's the same guy over and over and over again. Like they just a lot of. Is this like a bald work program? This is the biggest collection of bald men I've ever seen.
Bald? What's going on? They're so close to Turkey.
Maybe that like if Erdogan won't do it, the great hair transplant men of Turkey will fight back against Israel. I stemmed a lot of hairline bleeding. But like if it ever gets really bad, I'm going there and I can show them my bona fides. Yeah, and my support for the Turkish aerospace industry.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, dude, you're a gray wolf, both spiritually and literally. Like you're good.
I would love to go there. I want to see the Taycan. I think it's fucking cool.
Join us for a third study in at Butler's Library main reading room. What? So is he still a professor or not? Like I don't understand. Didn't he get fired?
Like he just loiters around Columbia.
I thought he got fired. Like how can you still be a professor? He literally called like the Jews students capos and shit. Like he was being so unhinged.
He got suspended. Was it, or did he like fully get fired?
I thought he got fired, but maybe not.
I thought it was a suspension because I remember Bill Smoke Crack Man being
Bill Smoke Crack Man.
He was like, if they don't reinstate Shai David, I'm gonna fucking blow my head off.
Yeah, this is a wonderful.
Oh my God!
What is this? His was automatically be minor.
Do you see that?
This is the most incredible story from Blue Sky.
This is why Blue Sky needs to exist, really.
Yeah. It's the perfect drip feeding of like shit that you see on Blue Sky. Like I don't want to get on Tumblr, but like every now and then you'll see like a post that hits, and this is it. This person replies, Tel Aviv deserves God's wrath, not gonna lie. Please don't. Look, someone very dear to me lives in Tel Aviv, and I'm worried sick about her. I'm asking y'all to redirect your anger towards the fascist genocidal Netanyahu government and the systems of cruelty that have led to this, not towards terrified civilians. A little compassion, please. My online dom lives in Israel. Because she's so stressed about living next to a war zone, I haven't properly gotten off since October 7th.
Incredible.
Ceasefire now. I just want everyone to come together in peace, me in particular, not trying to be flip. It's just such a ridiculous situation to be in.
How you can't... First of all, it sounds very inconvenient because Israel is like very far away. How do you work out the time zones? B, like a physical dom, okay, maybe if you have very specific taste. An online dom, couldn't ChatGPT do this for him?
Yeah.
Like what does an online dom do? Just like call you a fucking loser? She's better at it than anyone else? What a lunatic.
Yeah, she can only get it. She can only get it from her Israeli dom.
Ceasefire.
What is this?
My mom.
No,
Well, that's an old club when he was playing the nuclear weapon game.
Dude, Motaz knows who I Show Speed is. I asked him. Yeah. He's he did. He knew who I Show
That's
Speed
awesome.
was, which is so sick.
I love
He's
Motaz.
like, yeah, he's like, yeah, he's very loud. That's what he said. He's like, yeah, that's the guy that screams a lot, right? Yeah. Yeah, free Palestine. It's so sick. This was great stuff. This is Israel Supreme Court ruled on Monday that a child conceived through artificial insemination using a fallen soldier posthumously preserved sperm will be recognized as the child of the deceased under the law on families soldiers who died in combat.
How many of those kids are there? Like cattle prod kids.
Dude, that's why they needed $9 billion extra for the goon platoon, dude. They're like, the goon platoon is working extra hard, okay?
Oh my God.
The other side of the story also is like, apparently first combat fatality reports coming in from Lebanon for the special military operation that they were conducting. That's not an invasion, by the way. $1 billion extra for the goon platoon, dude. They're like, the goon platoon is working extra hard, okay?
Oh my God.
The other side of the story also is like, apparently first combat fatality reports coming in from Lebanon for the special military operation that they were conducting. That's not an invasion, by the way. And of course, as is the case always in Israel, the military censure is working overtime. But apparently there were like 20 medevacs that occurred and like a shit ton of ambulances into nearby hospitals.
It
Doesn't
is
seem
allergy
like
season.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, could be a coincidence.
Yeah, someone swapped it. They put non-lactose free milk in the.
There's been a Claritin shortage. Those longshore guys who are voting for Trump are not, putting the Claritin and the pallets into the merchant marine ships.
Yeah, it's just I don't know that to me is actually insane. Like that is like no self-preservation whatsoever. There's a lot of unique parts about this mania, and I don't understand how it so closely resembles either the Nazi government's like final push or South Africa, like apartheid South Africa, but
or like Vidalia in the Falklands, kind of.
Yeah, it's just like it literally doesn't make sense. But like you have no self-preservation at all, where you're like, no, this country that we invaded unsuccessfully multiple times, like we should do that again. Especially now that they have better weapons and have hardened their security.
Do you think that like, I don't know, this is like, it's so hard to get inside someone's head, and it's usually futile because so many things can just be explained by stupidity. But like, do you think it's a case of like, they expected like to be able to kill a bunch of people, obviously, but at a certain point, Biden goes, okay, enough of that. It's an election year. And then they would be like, begrudgingly forced to stop, but that would sort of bring it would be a closed loop. But the fact that there's been like no pushback, no suspension of weapon sales, and they get to just keep upping the ante, that they feel like, well, like shit, like we can't stop. We can't stop unless, it seems like America makes us stop. And they're not doing that.
I mean, it makes sense for America to rein Israel in to preserve Israel. Like the exit ramp has been there since early October. Pack up Netanyahu, say he's the big bad, move in like some fucking liberal general guy who is just as bloodthirsty, if not worse somehow, than fucking Benjamin Netanyahu. And then everybody goes back to like, oh man, we really have complicated politics here in Israel and are not like, baying for blood on a regular basis. But if left unchecked, it is very obvious that they are just going to keep fucking swinging at every single person, hoping that America keeps giving them weapons. But like, it's going to, like, at a certain point, it's going to turn into the Ukrainian situation.
Right.
Like, with Ukraine, they're obviously going up against a force with, they obviously understandably have a desire for emancipation. and they're going up a force with like significantly larger military numbers,
Yeah.
so they can throw more bodies at the problem. With Israel, they're like, oh yeah, we're getting our shit pushed in by fucking dudes in a open air prison that we created. Let's just go after a much larger military force. Doesn't make any tactical sense whatsoever.
I don't think that they really have a plan. I really do think that like they had a rough outline of like basically when America was going to stop, and that gives them an out where they're like, oh, we'd fucking kill all of you if it wasn't for America, but blah blah blah, and they get to keep like support, like Netanyahu gets to keep supporting Trump, etc. But it's hard. You cannot really overstate how just like directionless and without a conceivable strategy they are. And it's shocking. It's shocking. And it like, defies a lot of the explanation, but it just, when this is what happens when a state degenerates to a certain point into its bare essence.
We gotta. How much you want to bet this guy is German? Nothing can compare to the industrialization of killing people to the Nazis. Please don't use the Nazis as an example.
So obviously a German, because whenever Germans do that, it's like it's sort of a brag.
Yeah.
Nah, hey, come on, no one did it.
No one did it like we did it. You know.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, it's always liberal Germans. German politics is amazing, dude. It's amazing. The pro-Zionist anti-fascists.
I had a dedicated like German replier who was always screaming at me. And he wasn't like young. Like a lot of anti-Deutsch people are like X or millennial cuspers or younger sometimes. This guy was like 60, which is like, okay, then your dad was almost certainly involved in something.
Oh, for sure.
Like, okay, buddy.
Doors open. Doors open. Okay, there you go. Murat's food is here. Yeah, I love this shit. I love when Germans fucking flex like this, when they're just like, listen, nobody did it like we did it. I'm not pro... Called it!
Oh,
See?
my God.
Yes!
Oh, my God.
I'm not pro-Zionist or pro-German. I am German, though. I'm telling you, dude.
God, what is wrong with you people?
I locked it. Dude, it is something... We know, chatter. We know you're German. From the moment that you type those words out, it is... You think this is my first time encountering a German man online who said these exact same words?
The real Carl, which is like... I feel like it's just... Or wait, I really do have late onset dyslexia.
The real Carl
I think I need to get a new contacts prescription or something, but whatever. Carl, what a German name. But like Carl, no one else on earth talks like you people do.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I've been to Germany. You are a very singular people.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so funny. It's like, no, until dude, listen, until Israel kills at 5.9999 million Palestinians, still not the same. Do not compare it to Israel. I mean, do not compare it. I already did it. See,
See how easy it is? See how important education is?
Do not compare it to Nazi Germany. Please don't. 6 million, that's when you can do it. That's when it's appropriate and allowed, okay?
I hate that Germans are so like obnoxious about this shit, because I had a delightful time there. I really did. But seeing those like Bavarian hogs chase that little kid around because he had a Palestine flag.
Oh my God,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Dude, it is just straight Gestapo shit.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Are you saying they're low-key proud of that record? When I hear it from a German guy, it does sound like it a little bit.
It is a little bit like bragging.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 million in 3 years, or it's not comparable, okay? Yeah, get those numbers up, Israel, before we can get to talking. Ay. It's funny how even German Antifa is hardcore Zionist. I mean, is it that funny? I feel like it is funny, but I also think that like it makes total sense. Because if you have like collective massive guilt through this social conditioning, and you should to a certain degree, it's understandable, okay, for the crimes of your grandpappy, right? Then like it's a great way to just take all of that guilt and then put it towards a collective enemy, right? That's it. You're saying like, no, you don't understand. Like, Muslims are way worse than the Nazis. Like, that's basically all you're saying. When a German person says that, that's all I'm hearing. You know, I don't hear anything else. When a German person is making a coherent in their mind argument, okay, when they're like, oh no, this is hyperbole or whatever the fuck, like, it's usually just them saying, no, trust me, it wasn't us that is the big bad. It's actually the Muslims, okay? The Muslims that are way worse. You know?
It is interesting that Germany is so crazy. When I think Japan, going at the rate they're going with the videos I've seen, they are slowly getting turned one Israeli tourist incident at a time into being like the most anti-Zionist country on earth. Like, I don't know where they were before. I think that like, you know, people either didn't think about it or like were basically two-staters or whatever. But just every bad, like most of the bad Israeli tourist incidents I see take place in Japan for some reason, and it's just some psycho, like some like gross little bald guy screaming at like a 70-year-old Japanese guy.
Yeah, no politic here. It's like, bro, you went to Japan. Like, just let them think whatever they want to think. Okay.
Yeah, it's
shit's
like,
different out there. Okay,
dude,
calm down.
Like,
don't worry, it's a client state of the United States of America. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah, they don't even kick the fucking Marines out of Okinawa with all the bullshit they've done. But yeah, no, it does make me wish that Kashiwagi from Yakuza was real, and he was defending Kamurocho. Akiyama, everyone would be defending Kamurocho from these bald little yelling guys.
That is a Yakuza side villain.
Yeah.
Like that you encounter.
Yeah.
The ultra Zionist guy
no
in his diapers.
They're making Kiwami 3, I think.
Yeah, I mean, dude, so Yakuza is very woke, so I could totally see that happening in the upcoming Yakuza game.
3 is like a very divisive game in the series, and if they remove a lot of the orphanage stuff and replace it with like an Israeli tourist subplot,
objectively
that'd
better.
Be great.
Yeah. People saying free Palestine is not anti-Semitic don't understand the history of Israel. My great-grandfather helped slaughter every Jew in existence.
Oh my fucking God.
Bro, Germans are so weird about the Holocaust.
What's wrong with Germans?
I don't understand. Like, dude, they're so spiritually broken. Like,
no one brags like that.
Yeah, it's just, dude, that's so strange. Like, that is a strange fucking thing to say. Unless you're bragging.
And it also has nothing to do with his point.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't... what does Free Palestine have to do with his grandfather slaughtering Jews? It's just prima facie we're supposed to accept that Free Palestine implies exterminating Jews. No, that means that you just wanted to say that thing about your great-grandfather.
I don't know.
You still want to brag about it.
Yeah, it's just weird because, like, I remember, like, Israel trying to be like, how dare South Africa get a say on what is an apartheid and what is not? It's like, what are you talking about? That's not, like, are you mistaking it? Like, your greatest ally in the UN, other than America, is the country that did the Holocaust, and you don't even think about that, and you're over here shitting on the people that survived the apartheid, like the government that came after it, making it seem like they did it to themselves.
You also, no one sold weapons to the apartheid government at the rate that Israel did towards the end either.
Yeah. Freeing Palestine implies exterminating Jews. Therefore, free Palestine is anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's why Hitler was doing that to free Palestine.
What fucking great reasoning! This is just like this makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Just in. There are arguments that are like bad or like require a leap, but that isn't even an argument. It's just my grandfather shattered the backboard as far as Jew killing.
Yeah, he's putting up LeBron numbers.
Yeah,
That's
Jesus
crazy.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. There was no collective guilt in the GDR. The Soviets never imposed that on the German mind. Only the Yanks in the West did. But like, but also they didn't. Like, they didn't actually impose any collective guilt. They literally were like, oh yeah, we'll put the Nazis back in charge. That's precisely what ended up happening.
Yeah.
And this is the outcome of that.
They made a like post Third Reich too.
Yeah. Which is crazy because if I'm not mistaken, I think like even like the education surrounding the Holocaust came much later. Like an entire generation of like post World War II Germans were still like, no, we were the good guys in this process.
I don't know exactly when it came, but there like certainly were a lot of like Germans who were, either served in the war or were too old for that. But yeah, had, were just completely unremorseful. Donitz was a famous one of those.
That man's an academic sociologist is crazy.
Well, that's like the most common job in fucking Germany. Everyone there is a sociologist.
Man,
if you see a normal looking guy, he's a do nothing sociologist in Germany.
They're sociologists. They love socialism with a little bit of nationalistic characteristics. Okay, that's what it is.
The rule for
a little national socialism, if you will.
The rule for Germans, at least like West Germans, is a normal looking guy, most useless fucking job you've ever heard of. He's a socialist who works 2 days a month, or a sociologist who works 2 days a month, or he does drum therapy for guys who got drummed out of the Bundwehr. But if you see a white guy with dreadlocks, that's a fucking nuclear scientist. That guy designed satellite. That guy is a genius. It's the opposite of America.
Opposite world, yeah.
In America, you see a white guy with dreadlocks, and you're like, oh no, he's gonna ask me a weird favor that I don't understand.
In Israel, you see a white guy with dreadlocks. He does not know how to read.
In Israel, you see a white guy with dreadlocks, and you're like, hello, Senator. They don't have senators, I know.
Yeah, member of the Knesset of the Jewish Power Party from Hebron.
Yeah.
Like, he's like 16, does not know how to read, is advocating for women to not be able to retain a job.
Yeah.
Here's our younger senator. You see a white guy with dreadlocks in Israel, you're about to get spitted on.
that should be like, the like Gini index, or however it's pronounced, the thing for like human development and equality and like the freedom index. Yeah. There should be
the
a white
Gini coefficient.
Yeah, there should be like a white dreadlocks index. Like, what is the social status of white dreadlocks guys in this country?
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I guess Channel 4 did news coverage on the Hezbollah conflict. It's kind of funny. I don't know if you noticed this as well, but like Israel invading Lebanon and like blowing up Beirut has basically put an entire reset, as though like October 7 happened again, but this time Hezbollah did it, even though there was no October 7 that Hezbollah did. And the coverage is basically reset entirely, where the calculation